All right. What's up, guys? This is episode 106. Welcome to the Beginning of the Week podcast. Good Monday. Good Monday to all of you. Thank you for joining us. And thank you to everyone that has hit the subscribe button and also just for listening more than anything. That is all that we can ask from you. And that just really means a lot, guys. You can almost smell the appreciation in the air, man. Let's kick things off, man. A buddy of mine sent this to me because we live in the great state of North Carolina in these Appalachian Mountains, and he said, "Yo, you gotta check this girl out." And so let's do this. Let's kick it off, man. Let's see what she's got going on, man. So let's go. There's me and you. What are we listening to? It sound like is this her real voice? Like what? Like who is this chick? Gabrielle Hope. Dude, her voice sounds like a mixture between like if Minnie Mouse like tipped her toe right into Dolly Parton's heart. It sounds like don't get me wrong, it sounds like someone should be like getting skinned in the background or something, just because it has that it's that Appalachian West Virginia feel, man. That's what we got around here. This is it here. This is what we have here. This is what we're living in. But she has the most authentic, little, beautiful, adorable, cute. I don't even know the words to describe it. But hold on, let's keep going.
And I like the way your face is held by coveralls and button-ups and the oil from your truck when it won't start. You like the way I play the strings and cartwheel when I can't think of things, and you like the way my hair falls in its part.
It is so beautiful. It's so adorable, but it sounds like something that you would hear in like a horror movie or something like that, and things like I want to keep listening to it, but I don't want to keep listening to it. It just, because it has that damn, what is it? It's kind of like, man, it's like Deliverance Part 2 or something like that. It has this, or like you could hear it in like a movie, like in a slow, yeah, like a gritty sort of horror movie when people are just getting slashed and banged around and like, I don't know, but like, or she's so petite, she's dainty. She has a little, I don't know what it is. It's just, man, especially when she starts it out. Let's just start it out again because she's like, hey, or something like that. I don't know.
There's me.
Just that. You got me. You got me. Right there. Whatever. You could talk about apples, oranges, taking your kids to school, walking the dog, a bird flying by, whatever. Someone shooting somebody or something like that. But when you hear that just is like, dude, if this little girl, maybe she's not a little girl, maybe she's of age or whatever you want to say. If she doesn't make it in the music industry, what are we all doing? This thing is on point. I gotta admit, man, I didn't like it at first, and then once I just heard it again, it's like, dude, where can I get the vinyl? You know what I'm talking about? Where can this, it just sounds like she's so bubbly, I guess. I guess that's the word that I'm looking for. I don't know what it just makes me just want to, I don't know. She kind of has that feel that what's that movie that came out long ago, a long time ago, like 2 years ago? That movie X, and it had like a couple of dude, what is it? I don't know. I can't remember. But she has that same Pearl. Pearl's the other film. She has that sort of feel. And that look, man, it just seems like low key, and it just, I don't know. It's just a beautiful, I mean, and man, I don't know. I just want to hear that one beginning again, just because, like, imagine this being on your cell phone, you waking up to this, and this is what you hear.
There's me and you and me and both of us. That makes
Boy, I'm telling you, I'm gonna go through and I want to see what else she has going on, but I'm not gonna do that now. But for all you guys, this is Gabrielle Hope, and boy, what a unique girl, man. Hats off to her. If I had a hat, I'd take that thing off, man. But wow, that's so cool. Check her out, guys. Again, man, I am gonna go through my I'm gonna remember this chick, dude, because she just, man, I could just see her like sitting just at like a campground or over a pond or something like that, and once she starts, delivering out those vocals, man, I could just see a crowd of people just, crowding around her, just trying to discover who she is and what she's all about, man. But, whew, okay, man. I mean, not to take up so much time, but dude, that was beautiful, man. That was beautiful. So what's going on this week, man? I guess we just kicked that off the way we did, and well, we got Easter rolling around this week. We got, and it's coming in a little bit on the later side of things, Usually we celebrated some last week, but here we are, man, and that's what just the good shepherd upstairs is doing, man. And you know what? Jesus doesn't mind, he, because he knows we celebrate him, every day, we do that in our lives. We celebrate this beautiful, this beautiful man, and that's just what it is. But man, when Easter starts to get closer, you get that strange feeling inside you a little bit that that Jesus is everywhere. You know what I'm talking about? You turn around, he's around there. He'll be at a Go grocery or something like that, just picking out a ham or whatever, or you'll be pumping gas, and out of nowhere, he'll just pull up in a I don't know, and like he may be driving like a damn cloud or something like that, and I don't know, man, the cloud, that thing runs on hope, heart, love, and I guess, a little bit unleaded fuel, I would say, but that's how just sweet baby Jesus rolls, I guess. So, but yeah, Easter's coming around this week, and this is about the time where when you really, really, really start to look around, you're starting to notice that parents are taking their kids out to get that new outfit, that new church outfit. And after that, after they get done picking out their, whatever they're doing, their new blouses and whatever they're doing, usually parents will take them out to go get that haircut, that Easter cut. And I remember that. I remember growing up, and Mom would take us out, and and my haircut almost looked like it came out of like a retro yearbook, I guess, something like that, because it just, it had that, they'd always try to do, it kind of had that comb over look, and then those slicked back parts, those parted parts on the side, and it was like some little Italian man just came up and just slapped my freaking haircut with a handful of heavy olive oil or something like that, and And that's the thing I used to do growing up, man. I was all about that hard hair. I was all about, putting that Aquanet or those or that LA Looks hair gel in my dome. That's what used to make me feel, inspired. Make me feel like I was, like I was doing something different than everybody else, and I was, because everybody would come around and they'd want to feel on my hair, man. They'd want to feel on these little delicious, streaks and locks of, well, now it's all straight. It used to be all curly and everything, but man, I used to dump so much hair gel on my hair, you just feel like a damn block of concrete. And always people would want to come by and touch it, something like that. And because again, no one else did that sort of thing. And but once I found out that they were making once I found out about the that homemade flamethrower that you could get out of that Aquanet can, you take that lighter in that can, that's all you heard. Game over. Game over for a lot of those outdoor items. You know what I'm talking about? I'd practically, dude, once I fucking made that homemade flamethrower, dude, I'd catch anything on fire. You got some old camping equipment? Well, let's light that shit up, dude. Let's do it. You got some tall grass growing underneath your porch? Well, there goes the grass. Grass is gone. And you know what else is gone? Your front porch. I was just a nemesis. Once I came down to it, I was just always getting into trouble and once my buddies found out about it, we were just lighting each other on fire pretty much, running around the neighborhood, just, lighting our backs up, that sort of thing. And it just felt like, the devil was just creeping up right behind you, because you felt that heat. That's what you get when your mom's never home. You get into relentless shit, dude. I'm part of my cussing and this and that, and I know this is supposed to be an Easter episode, and it's just, stuff like that really brings me back, man. I love that nostalgia sort of thing. So now whenever I look at a can that, like a WD-40 can or something that'll, ignite something, that just gets me warm, But yeah, we used to always do that Easter cut. The boys would always do that sort of thing, it was part ways and part sides, and then, but if you're a girl on the other hand, and you had that long hair like Rapunzel, they would always, they'd always do something, the hairstylist would always do something to you. They would always wrap your, put it in like a wrap and wrap it around your head a couple times. And then at the end, they'd put it in like a little cinnamon bun or a twist or something, or maybe a braid or some shit that looks like, like a hemp necklace almost. Remember those? People used to wear those back in the day, and you'd see them, you'd see a hemp necklace or 8 or something you see all these people at like a Widespread Panic concert or maybe a Fish show or something, and these people would put all sorts of ridiculous shit on that, on that necklace. They'd stick stuff like bead work on there, or some some toys, or hell, you can even fucking install a damn squash on that thing and eat little bits and pieces off of it throughout your day while you're sitting in class. But there was this one kid that I went to school with, this kid named Kevin, and he had a couple of those, installed, little small mason jars filled with little, nuggets of weed. and he had those attached to his hip necklace, and he would always walk around with this big Charlie Brown T-shirt and everything, and people used to go up there and be like, "Yo, Kev, let me get a little nug train off you," and he just untwist that little bad boy for a moment, and he'd sell you a damn nickel right there, and that's a beautiful thing if you really think about it, because he always had it on, and that's just what it was growing up, man. Because we used to think it was the coolest thing ever. Like, dang, dude, you got those Easter nuggets, fucking pass one of those over. Let me get a little dime, and he unscrew both of those things and then just pop it out at you. But anyways, that, getting that Easter haircut always made me feel a little bit more on the joyous side of things, I guess. So, but Easter time, man, always made my mom feel so good, and in turn, because she felt good, we felt good. And maybe it's just, maybe it's because of what I was just talking about. Maybe it's because we just have that uplifting vibe, that's going on, it's because the Lord is around us, this specific week, it's almost like he gave like he just gave the world a smile, and I don't know what I'm trying to say. Maybe he just gives everyone for one day, that Easter smile, man. So, but and look, and I know not everyone has the same beliefs and that sort of thing, and we don't have the same, outlook on things, People have what their Jesus looks like, or what they call their Jesus, and that's fine. That's totally fine. Some may think he wears expensive sweaters and has a gold chain wallet hanging out of his back, pockets or whatever, and then others may think that he is wearing like this, I don't know, like a bulletproof robe and is rolling around on damn wooden Birkenstocks and fixes Brunswick stew for the homeless every Wednesday, because Jesus is all about that supper time. So, and that's just something special right there, I guess. But look, man, no matter how he or she may feel about whatever, whatever your Jesus looks like, whatever types of shapes or forms or whatever he takes on, really, he just can unlock your damn emotions to your soul, really. He can, it's something that we don't get every year, but when Easter rolls around, it's just something special about it, I guess, It's like he gives all of us a chance, even if we're doing bad things, man. Easter is just that time that we can just kind of celebrate a little bit together, And I was thinking about this earlier, man. We were talking about just Easter coming up and how we celebrate the what's the word, man? The resurrection, We do that. We celebrate his resurrection every single year. And it's kind of like it's like life 2.0 for him, I guess, in a way. It kind of just makes me wonder before he rises if he like maybe puts on a song that really gets him revved up, Because hot damn, man, if I was getting resurrected or whatever, I'd be doing all sorts of, I'd be flipping through a whole category of music. Maybe something like, I'd probably pick something like Guns N' Roses, sweet child of mine, yow, wow, 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 and I'm just, or maybe some Bon Jovi, something like that, living on a prayer, take my hand, meow, oh man, something like that. And look, man, this Easter, this Easter coming up, it just so happens that it's getting it's happening on 420. So maybe this year, instead of Jesus coming out to Bon Jovi or some some Guns N' Roses or whatever, Prince or something like that, maybe he's out there and he's just this year he's gonna come out to like some, fuck, dude, I don't know. Maybe some how about some Cypress Hill, huh? Hello, my name is Dr. Green Thumb. I'd like to tell you just where I'm from. In the hills where the trees grow, wild wheat fields, that sort of thing. And you just see him just, or better yet, man, instead of that, maybe just roll up, just gets resurrected by some Willie Nelson. And just sit back and just relax because it's his day off, It's the Lord's day off. You want to know what the Lord is doing? He's just kicking it. That's what he is. That's what he's doing. I'm sure the Lord is just doing what the Lord wants to do because, that's what Easter is for him. Especially this year because damn, if it's on 420, then I think all of us just need to show the man upstairs a little appreciation. Twist one up in the name of him, and let him know that you're thinking about him. Thinking about the good faith and all the great things that he has given to us over the years. Air, water, legs. We should show appreciation for the stuff that we got, man. Legs, hands, brain, grass, rubber, something like that. We could keep going on the list, but speaking of legs and all that, and just the joy that Easter brings to all of us and the peace that it brings, like, dude, check this out. This guy. Speaking of legs, huh? Let's do this. How about this guy? Okay, for all you guys that are not looking at my screen or whatever, there is a guitarist that has no arms, and he is just rocking out this guitar with just his feet. So he's just playing this thing like. What? Again. Let's see what this cat is made of, huh? What? Woo! How? Oh! Crazy. Okay, this man's got no arms, and he is playing a guitar better than most that have good arms. And look, I'm not a foot person by any stretch, but this man has the fucking flippers of a gay dolphin, man. That's just what he has, how the hell is that even possible? I guess it's just It's just it's what the Lord gave him, you know? And the thing is, again, people complain about, I can't play a guitar because, because my hands don't work and they're too good hands. And dude, this guy is just soloing with his damn floor feelers. You know? That's insane. Okay, wait, let's keep going. Dude, this kid's feet must be, dude, calloused. Oh, really? Woo! Dude. Okay, what? How? You know? Like, it's insane. And the thing is, I love shit like this. I do. I love a person with a and I don't want to call it disability, but I guess that's that's the only term that I could come up with right now. But, it's just, people like this amaze me. They just do. It's like, you'll get online and you'll see a girl that has, she's out there, she paints with no arms. And you're like, how? And she could do it better than anyone that I've ever seen paint. And you're like, how is this even possible? She's painting with her mouth or whatever. It's almost like if she had arms, she wouldn't do as well. Just crazy stuff like that. This man is, he has fingers for toes. That's what he has. Like, it's, what? Woo! Oh, and he even lifted up the guitar with his foot at the end, like he was gonna do a kickflip with that damn thing. Dude, unreal. Like, it just makes me feel like I'm just doing nothing with my life because I got 2 good arms, 2 good legs, and a head. Arm, leg, leg, arm, head. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to RZA out there. But, dude, this cat, again, the Lord, right? Unreal. I just can't. And whoever this guy is, I don't even know what his name is. But when you can do that with your feet, you can only imagine what else he could do with his feet. I'm sure he was like the top star on his fucking kickball team, growing up, or like, it just makes it kind of makes you wonder what happened, and it's just, I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss for words. I just am. Like, 2 great guitarists. One has a voice and strums and sings, and this other guy just can't stop believing that I don't get it. I don't understand. But man, this guy just damn paints a damn picture for you about if you are able to do the things that, he makes me not want to complain about how life is, I guess. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But when I saw that, I was like, dude, I'm putting it down. So, what else is going on, man? Oh, another buddy sent me this. And AI, man, AI is getting a little ridiculous, but I thought this right here was just absolutely hysterical. And I know I'm jumping around this episode. I'm just, there's a lot to talk about and a lot to show, and just, everyone's like, dude, have you seen this guy? Have you seen this guy, or this or that and the other? But this had me rolling for a second.
And lastly, sir, we have an executive order demanding that grown men stop wearing skinny jeans.
Finally! Finally! Why wasn't this executive order signed earlier? Like 4 years ago. Why? Oh, but this right here, this is what I love right here.
That's a big one, huh? A lot of people are waiting for this for years. For decades.
Oh, he's like, a lot of people have been waiting for this. Hold on, where is it again?
That's a big one, huh? A lot of people are waiting for this for years. For decades.
I just don't know why it's... Oh, but I know this is fake. I know it's fake as F, right? But when it says on the bottom of the screen, Trump signs executive order for no men skinny jeans. Oh man, that was something that always just annoyed the shit out of me walking down the street or whatever. Dude, the skinny jean thing, I don't understand why it happened or where it came from. And you know what? If you're wearing a pair of skinny jeans, take them off. Throw them away. Burn them. Get rid of them. Look, guys, you got 2 balls and, maybe a medium-sized dick or whatever, right? But hot damn, you guys don't got the V down there. How do you breathe? How? Like, I don't get it. How is this even, you can't. Skinny jeans needed to be evaporated off the earth like 15 years ago. Whoever came up with that idea about skinny jeans needs to just be locked up. Whoever said, hey, you know what? I got an idea. Let's just stick the tightest jeans on some guy to where his balls just can't breathe. And then let's see how our population gets. Because, when I say the population gets is, those tight nut huggers that these young men are wearing around and everything. Like, dude, that's not a good thing for you. If you didn't know that by now, your nuts and your balls are supposed to just fall. Like, they're just supposed to just not, they aren't supposed to be in there like grabbing onto each other like they're hugging one another. They aren't supposed to do that. They're just supposed to hang there. Like, hang. I never understood the boxer brief thing, because whenever I put those things on, I feel, or like when a man crosses his legs, like I don't, how do you do it? I can't do it. It hurts. It hurts too much. It feels like my nuts are in a wrestling match between each other, and they aren't even supposed to be, they aren't even supposed to be wrestling tonight. But then you got the fucking just tight as can be, like your dick is gonna go right back behind your body, go right up your ass or something like that. Like, it's like if they're just, everything's just gonna be pushed back like a mistletoe or something like that. I don't get it, but funny AI, and hats off to you, Trump, for getting rid of the skinny jeans. But anyways, what else has been going on, man? Again, sorry, it's a little all over the place today. We're just having a good time in here today. That's all it is. So, What happened? What else? What else? Oh, I sat down and I watched a new movie. Um, um, it's a Josh. Man, you haven't seen this cat in a while. You know, he did a Harrison Ford movie a long time ago. He's done a couple other things. Josh Harnett. I think that's how you spell his or say his name. But he came out with this movie, Fight or Flight. And for a plane movie, you know, look, plane movies can only have maybe three plots. You know, they could probably have, you know, that you got kidnapping, there's a hostage situation going on, and probably, you know, snakes, of course. All of which have been done over and over and over before. And, oh, I guess you could slide hijacking in there, but that kind of covers all of them, right? But let me tell you this. This new movie, you know, when the movie, and I'm not going to ruin anything for you guys or anything like that, but, and this movie is called Fight or Flight. And when the movie starts out, you kind of just want to shut it off, you know? And trust me, it'll make you do that. You'll be like, I don't know. Because, hey, the writing isn't the best, but you know, if you could make it throughout the 15, 20-minute marker, you know, it really turns itself around in a big way. And look, you know you're watching something good, okay? When you are not good, but entertaining. How about that? You know you're watching something entertaining, a good entertaining movie when you don't get up for like 20 minutes, man. You know? Or do something else, like go wash your cat or do your taxes, you know, which, by the way, are due on the 15th. So if you haven't gone to go do those fun-sucking, fundraising, you know, tax galore, blah, 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 you know, if you haven't gone down that road yet, to put it into the government's tip jar, you know what I'm talking about, then you better get on it, baby. You better get on it. So, but if you watch something and not get up, you know, then I consider that a decent film. I just do. And this is what this film did. I got up maybe once, you know, and that was maybe to go, you know, to get the front door because someone rang the doorbell, and whoever rings the doorbell nowadays is a complete psycho. So, but because no one's really going to answer the door because that's just how it goes. And everyone's afraid to come to the door. You know, it's not like how it was in the 80s where you would fucking trip each other or, you know, maybe duct tape your cousin to a chair or something just so you could answer the door and him, like, you know, like he didn't deserve it or something. Because back in the day, answering the door was such a surprise, you know? You want to know who was at the door. But now, don't care, you know? But yeah, so I only got up once, and that's what this film did, man. It was so fun. It was so fun to watch, you know? And look, I'm just going to give you a little quick synopsis about what it's about, okay? So, Josh Harnett, whatever, however you pronounce his name, he's like a mercenary, I guess. And he takes on this job, and he's tracking down this person who has like this machine. And the government wants this machine. And so essentially, he gets on this international flight trying to find this person and a machine. But the twist is, and I'm not going to give anything away, okay? Because you'll find out in the first 20 minutes or so, right? But the plane is full of assassins, you know? And the assassins are trying to kill Josh Hartnett and the person who made the machine. So essentially, like, that's what it is. But some of the fighting scenes were just... we're just so fun. It was just like it was like a bloodbath on an airplane. you know, but because there's chaos everywhere, you know, and there's a couple, you know, parts in it where you're like, I don't get it. Like, I don't think this is, okay, that was a little corn on the cob, you know, it's a little corny, but other than that, it was fun. You know, there's not a lot of fun movies that come out anymore. But this thing, it just kind of, it didn't resonate with me. I have no, you know, I mean, when I say resonate, it didn't, I don't know. I don't know what it did. It was so entertaining though. So, if you get a chance, maybe check it out and leave a comment if you guys will, and let me know what you thought about it. So, anyways, how about we jump into some news real quick, and then we'll get out of here, huh? How about that? Okay, it says here, let's see, where is it? Well, maybe. Should we? Okay, why not? It says right here, influencer's sexy photo shoot lands her in the ER. It says, my butt was completely numb. I couldn't even sit down. Okay. Well, first off, what I want to say to whoever this girl is, I don't even know who she is, but you look like a guy. You just do. You look like a guy. So if you're out there, for one, you're out there doing photo. Well, it says Brazilian influencer Ravena Hanniely, right? Reported to the emergency room after developing frostbite on her bum during the frigid photo shoot in Spain. My butt was completely numb, and I couldn't even sit. I'm 24 years old, and I thought I was going to get hypothermia on my ass. So essentially, it goes into the ex-Playboy model. Okay, still looks like a guy. Yeah, a guy. She essentially had her. Oh, this is great. Because this is, I guess, what one person does because they want to, I guess. She infamous, oh God, I can't even read today. Sorry. She dropped $19,000 on a hymen operation so she could feel like a virgin again. Okay. Well, you know what? You know who does that? Guys. Okay? Girls turning into guys. And that's just what it is. You know? Cancel me, don't cancel me, whatever. It's just what it is. So, but she's out here flaunting around in some snow, and she said it was just so intense, and I just didn't expect it because I'm 24 and I'm a dumbass, essentially. And great, wonderful. I don't know. And she's rocking this skimpy bikini, and it says that it went down to 14 degrees Fahrenheit. She's like, I want to do something memorable. This is what it says. I want to do something memorable, something different. I spent a long time adjusting for the scenery, lighting, and poses to have a perfect result. And you know what, lady? You still look like a guy. Yep. Yep. So essentially it comes down to she started panicking and then had to go to the emergency room, and the doctors said that she had localized hypothermia in her, I guess, or something like that. Frostbite symptoms include, you know, the regular torturous things, numbing blisters, swelling, all that sort of fun stuff. But, okay. Well, you know what? This girl was, okay. But she says she previously revealed that she spent over $51,000 on plastic surgery. to look like WAG. And that's an acronym for Wives and Girlfriends of Athletes. Okay. Well, not only are you a little bit on the retarded side, lady, but again, you still look like a guy. So, beautiful. Yeah, I think that's it, man. There's not much else going on. But man, I am gonna dip dive and shovel out some more. I want to know what this Gabrielle Hope is all about. She has, I mean it. Woo, man. I'm gonna introduce that to a buddy because he's gonna love that thing. So, anyways, all right, guys. I hope all of you have a peaceful and restful Easter. That's coming up on Sunday. Go get that new haircut. Go get those new outfits. Go hunt those eggs, and try to share a Cadbury bunny, or two with a couple other individuals, and Dr. Green Thumb, let me show you where the I mean it, man. Anyways, roll one up for the Lord, and we will catch you next time, everyone. Okay. Again, good to be here, and stay true to yourselves out there, and we'll catch you next time. All right. Happy Easter, everybody. All right. Take care.